Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir.
See, for the benefit of all the viewers, I should first introduce madam. Although she is a well-known figure in Maharashtra and nearby states, but it is my humble duty to give her formal introduction. Dr. Warsha Dhawale is a very active person in all the societies, gynec society as well as medical associations in Nagpur. And she is a great academician practicing in Nagpur for last 22 years. So she had been member of Indian Medical Association Nagpur, and she had an honor to become first lady secretary as well as first lady president of IMA Nagpur. So we all have proud that whatever you have done in the Indian Medical Association of Nagpur. Just now, she is vice president of Nagpur OBGYN Society, and she has received multiple awards. See, she received NOGS Gold Medal for Outstanding NOGS Member, that is Nagpur Obstetric Hysterectomy Society member in 2017. She was awarded Best Secretary of Indian Medical Association Maharashtra State Award in 2008. She received also Best President Award in again IMA Nagpur, that was in 2014. That was a national award. Then she was also recipient of National Award of IMA, that is known as Kanak Goyal Award in 2006 and 7. Best Editor of Intimate. Intimate was the souvenir of Indian Medical Association, and she received state and national award for the same. And she was Best All-Female Team of IMA Award in IMA 2013 and 14. She is chairman of PCPNDT committee, IMA in Maharashtra. So, madam, welcome to this webinar, and hope you are going to ask me some medico-legal queries. So, welcome.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Sure, sir. When your name flashes in front, the only thing which we can see is, yes, he is a savior for the medical legal purposes. So, sir, I would just like to ask you one question, which is actually faced by many of the gynecologists. Though some of them only face it, some of them have gone through it. So, supposing in and out we are doing cesarean sections, and we have posted a patient for cesarean section, and she bleeds on the table. Yes, she has PPH, profuse PPH. We have tried all means of to try to save, control the bleeding, like uterine ligation, internal ligation, and everything. And now we have reached a decision that yes, obstetric hysterectomy is the only thing which we can do now. But now we have the patient under anesthesia, and we have just taken the consent for a cesarean section. And of course, yes, some of the few complications which we explain to the patient. Now, in such a scenario, when we have to go ahead with the obstetric hysterectomy, whose consent should be taken?
So, madam, basically in such situation, when PPH occur on table and patient is under anesthesia, it is clearly mentioned by Supreme Court in Samira Kohli versus Dr. Prabha Manchanda's case, decision that was a 3-judge bench decision in 2008. And in that decision, it was clearly mentioned that whenever something is done in emergency to save the life of the patient, then no consent at all is required. So this is an exception where passing on the information is not needed, and even if you have done something to save the life of the patient on table without consent, that cannot be considered as negligence on your part. But the thing here is that the burden of proof to prove that whatever you have done was to save the life of the patient, that will be on your head. So you have to prove. And that's why it is always advisable to include one of your colleague also in taking such decision, so that you will be easily prove in the court of law that whatever you have done is in the interest of the patient to save the life of the patient. Now, for abundant caution, if some relative is present outside operation theatre, so in that circumstance, it is always advisable that you should call that or you should go to the relative waiting outside and you should take signature of at least the relatives. One more thing, that nowadays we used to take elaborated procedure specific consent. So if you go through the consent which we have developed in our book, we have written a book on consent, that is consent in OBGYN. And if you go through the consent for cesarean section in that book, you will find that we have already mentioned in that book that in the consent of cesarean that there are chances of PPH, and if we will try to control that PPH by applying this method, by uterine ligation, by intermediate ligation, by different kind of stitches. So if that is not controlled, then there are chances that we may take decision on table to remove the uterus to save the life of the patient. So that is already included in the consent in advance. So if you take such elaborated consent in advance, there is no need to consent and to take an extra consent at the time of taking such decision on table. So according to me, if you have done something to save the life of the patient on table, no consent at all is required.
Okay.
So,
thank you so much, sir. That was indeed a very, very good answer. I mean, we are panicked in that stage and you just cannot remember what to do. Yes. And you just think that, oh my God, now what is going to happen? The patient is going to die. There will be an assault and we are in a catchy situation. So this was indeed a relief, a very good answer, sir. Thank you so much for answering. And we hope so. The medico-legal professionals like you, when you are around and just a phone call away, we definitely are out of here for the OBGYN practice. So it's an appeal to everyone that please do elect Geetendra Sharma sir as the Vice President of the West Zone. He is and has been always on call. He's just a phone call away and he has always been so helping, and it's really like PPH and all other emergencies are a nightmare for the obstetricians, and saviors like you should be around to save us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. We hope the same from you as a PCPNDT committee in charge, that you should also help our colleagues at least in PCPND.
Yes, that's been my job and I've been doing it right way. Let's see how many more times I can be of help. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam.